We are live. I am joined today by Miss Gina G. She wanted to be on the show with me, so I'm gonna make sure that we handle business on the journey, letting the young ones on, because they are the future, and they are why I'm sitting up here screaming in the first damn place. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to make sure that that the legacy that's left for them is real and substantial. So my head is going to be halfway cut off. I'm going to work it out. You know, I'm going to work it out. Got a big head. And I'm going to work it out, but you know. So I'm going to ask y'all to bear with me. Chats are up. Chats are up. Let me refresh. I'm going to refresh the chat screen so I can make sure I can see what's going on. I'm going to send out signal. What? Okay, cool. I did launch campaign. Okay. DT. I should have did this before. I'm sorry. I apologize. 21719. Launch. Boom. Black signal has been created and it has been launched out. The great Giami family is about to gather. The congregation of the mighty, we are in the house, right? We are in the house. All the black signal is hitting on all cylinders. It went out quick. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Let me sit this back just like that a little bit. All right, let's see where we at. All right. So, family, I want to welcome you first to the place where your hustle build muscle. This is Giami Journey Media. This is a Heart of a Simple production. And of course, you know, right now, we are doing the Daily Toast. Well, we do nothing. Go ahead.
Where we strive to blow up your old paradigm.
Mr. Diddy.
Drink your water. Come on, drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink. Come on, pig. Or should we say, breathe, then drink. Now grab your glasses for some water. Get your bottle of that water. Twist the cap off that water. Lift it for your water. Drink. Or should we say, lift for then drink. Now move your body and drink some water. Now move your body and drink some water. Come on. Just move your body. Drink. Or should we say, move, then drink. Man. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Man, just raise your glass. Drink. Or should I say, lift, toast, then drink. Oh man, listen. Take your breath and drink some water. Lift and pour yourself some water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, live, move, toast. But the 4 pillars of health, Brother Hakim. Drink, eat, drink, no. Oh, damn. Take your breath. Live and pour. Move your body. Toast your ancestors, break down. Drink the water with me, family. Damn, didn't do it. All right, family, here we go. Lines will be open. I'm going to post it up in a second. I want to do the toast first because we got a lot to talk about. Man, I had a nightmare last night. Yep. I had a nightmare last night. That I was at an event speaking and fell out with some people. And some young dudes came outside and tried to jump me. And I was shocked. And I jumped up and I woke up. But I was trying to go back to sleep to catch them. But by the time I got back, them niggas was gone. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, man, come on now. Come on now. You can't be jumping me. You can't be jumping me in my sleep. I don't play that shit. I don't like that. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't like that. You know, so family, now, we got a lot to talk about. So now let me just lay it out, right? So last night we had a very interesting discussion with Morris Brothers about some of the Morris Brothers about ADOS and the connections and stuff. Very interesting conversation. I apologize to those on Facebook because it was horrible. It was about 20 different because it kept going in and going out. And, you know, so now this is why, once again, I got to either go and put the money out or I got to get some better equipment so that when I'm in places like that, I can have directional mics. So if you want to get the live show, you have to, in a sense, go to Spreaker. And while you on Spreaker, you might as well follow the podcast because everything we do live here, we also do on the podcast so that you can listen at your convenience. Second, real good discussion. We're gonna talk about that. I want to see and discuss pieces of this thing from Monique and Steve Harvey. You know what I'm saying? The whole, the bag mentality. We in the money game versus the integrity game. We got the issue with the Columbus Way project. I want to read a little bit from there. I also want to talk a little bit about the 2020 census and some of the moves we need to make. Now, as far as the Columbus Way project, the one thing that I want to cover is an article that was in the Dispatch where they talk about, I posted it up on the Giambi Journey timeline. So now listen, family, we're moving into 2019 hard. I've been telling y'all about a newsletter. I finally put the money together and I got the software to do an effective newsletter, right? A digital newsletter. What I need now is contributors to the newsletter. Of course, I'm going to contribute. Of course, it's going to be the proverb of the week. There's a whole bunch of stuff and a whole bunch of directions we could take it in. And family, like I said, I'm depending on the family to help this come alive. Because it's important that we start being able to help. You gonna join me, Gina? It's important we become able to start framing the discussions that we have, and better yet, even better than framing, grounding all the discussions we have in us. Right? Grounding all the discussions we have in us as American descendants of slaves. I know that shit grates. It's like, hold on, let me pick my hair. My daughter want to use the pick. Somebody say what's up to Gina G, because we about to do this toast real quick. Then we're going to get into these conversations. But we got to start grounding all of our conversations in us. In us. You know what I'm saying? Brother Omar Farouk, what's up? Shouts out to S. Freedom Johnson. Thank you for joining us. So we got to start forming grounding all of the discussions in us. And we have to start putting out the media topics, even though, because there's a lot of stuff on media, you know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff out there that might not necessarily need to be out there, you know what I'm saying? But it is. So we got to learn how to deal with it. Uh-oh. Oh, snap. Okay, so my little thing on this screen is off. Show's about to start. Okay. I see Miss Navita out there. You see they say, hey, Gina. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So family, listen. So we got to start grounding every last discussion that we have in us. Just like the toast is grounded in us. It's about us. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. Now, so when we look at
this call is being recorded.
When we look at the discussion around this Columbus Way project, right? One of the questions that was asked was how does this affect us? But we have to start being able to get people and hold people accountable for the language and how they talk about us. You understand what I'm saying? We got to be clear on the whole African American title. We got to be clear on what you mean by what you mean when you say black, people of color. We have to start extracting ourselves out of all that shit and make sure that people are talking to us. If you're talking about black, you know what I'm saying? Descendants of slaves, people who have been here generation after generation, catching the hell, and basically who the individuals that were the sacrificial lambs for this country, the blood sacrifice for this country to become legitimate. You know what I'm saying? If you're talking about them, or you're talking about African Americans and people of color, and this means people that are immigrants and really people that are immigrants and people that are living on the fringes of our communities and shit, and really cannot fit that description. We got to make sure that they are precise, because we got to ask the question, what's in it for me? I have tried to find an English partner to practice English, but I cannot find it. I can dig it. Listen in. You're going to learn a bunch of English language words on this show, goddammit. Goddammit is one of them, right? Let me see. Where we at? So somebody is on the line. Who that on the line?
It's the mysterious caller. I'm a ninja.
It's the ninja. Ninja, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I'm a ninja.
Okay, he a ninja today. All right. All right, but hey, what we gonna do is, family, we are going to listen up. We're gonna do this toast real quick. This is why. Because this conversation gonna spin, it could spin out of control real fast. Because I got shit to share. We got stuff to share. Right? And I wanna play this Monique thing. I wanna get into this because this whole bag culture is I believe dragging us down. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we all kind of at fault. Hey, Clay, can you bring me a coffee cup? I know he'd be like, what? All right, so we only got a little bit of ambrosia left. Only a little bit of ambrosia left. But we're going to go and use this ambrosia for the toast. Just a little bit. This is kind of strong, Gina. You sure? All right.
Coffee, what you need?
Coffee cup. Coffee cup, sir. All right, so family. Gather around. As the toast go down. We lift up our glass to the Creator by whatever name you choose to call the Creator. We lift up our glass and we say, Ashe. A pic of my niece in 20 years. And we say Ashe. From there, family, where do we go? Where we go from here, Gina? We move to our ancestors. And we're going to go on and we're going to get them off. We got us a nice list. We always have room for more. So, family, by all means, go to Gianni Journey on Facebook. Go to Gianni Journey on YouTube. And inbox us, right? Send us a message. Throw your ancestors up there if you want them to be on there. Damn, I forgot to write down a new number because I got a new number for the Black Line. If anybody out there that's watching and know the number to the Black Line because it's a new number, and because I got to go on and because I had to go and update. So also, family, I want to remind all of you that next week we will be doing the G&J Mall. And also in the mall, we will be opening up the G&J Cineplex, where we will be showing the movie The First Purge and having a discussion. Now, family, I know some of y'all are disturbed by the movie The Purge, but please come out. This is not the first purge. This is not the second purge. This is the first purge. This is the title of it, where they came up with the concept and did the initial experiments to get, this is the prequel to the movies. So it's very interesting who they used to experiment the purge on. And the reason the movie was chose was because the person that selected the movie saw some scary similarities between what's going on now and what was going on in that damn movie. Right? Because now the one thing we talk about in GMA is being symbol literate. We have to be able to look at symbols. We have to always be able to look at symbols and fit ourselves, you know what I'm saying, and find what the symbol means for us. Right? So back to the toast. We lift it up, we salute the ancestors, and we say, yep, but we're going to read them. Y'all ready? Here we go. Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robert, Tex, Andy Davis, Herman Brown, Senior, Rosalie, Tilly, Georgia, William, Walter, Kristen, Fanny Gadsden, Nina, Uncle Chris, I'm Fiend, Cleveland, Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown. That's who you named after.
Who?
Gina Gaines. That's right. Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallard, Montague Pittman now. Normal X, Pet Mount Ra, Malika Fakour, Dr. Mary Ann Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Farmer, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusef Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Burford, Hector Jr., J. Edwards, Carlisle Hayes, Grace Lundy, Inez Hayes, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sturdy and Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pullian, the Luxter brother, Miss Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Lonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kell Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Natalie Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Renderman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Del Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Weller, Vita Farmer, Agosta Sue, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Ellen, Deolis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thorne, Pearl G. Thorne, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Edgar Trisha Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary, where we at? Merle, I'm going to just start from there. Merle, hold on, let's just start here. Melvin Dale Hines Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Weller, Vita Farmer, Agosto Sue, Shell Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Deolis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Linda Dixon, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence Carter, Joanne Thornton, Edgar Trisha Lunas, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, May Elizabeth Rogers, May Esther Keachler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bolden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sergey Thorne, Richard Thorne, Lavina Hall, Freeman Bankston, Mary Moss, Ophelia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quails, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quails. Hold on the line. We'll be with you in a second. Bernice Quills, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.E. Johnson, Delrita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry Ward, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hattie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martinelli, Elder Amitab Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Delma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey Eleanor Howe, Frecka Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs, the second Vina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Will Joe Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carlos Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Didymar Ayers, Gina Roop Jones, Jana Callahan, William Walter West, Nigella Paris, Elder Basiji Falani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Delise Waters, DeFriedis Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scantleberry, Wilson Haley, Elma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Calvin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire. Hello to Kimberly Sambo. Wilbur Longmire. Sambao or Sambo. Wilbur Longmire, Edith Catney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pena Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Nalon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billis Lee Jr., Jennifer Sensenbaugh, Hazel Gasson, Jerry Bradley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaneko Parsons, Jason Kathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word the First, Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Irvin, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkerson Sr. What are you doing, Gina? Real life here, Giambi Journey. Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Mina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Glebus, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eulin Andrew Baker, Patricia Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Harriet Tubman Cates, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Nino Baby Hatch, Sr., Mally Miller, Housie Hashtag Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Dorita Ross, Viola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Melanie Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Coper, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford, Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Benella, Albert Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Erlington Houston Ludd, Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, and Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Vaughn, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Remy Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Baba Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, R. Pruitt, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Newell Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Dan Urban, Haroon Phillips, where we at? Woo! Margaret Logan, Man, lost my part. Lee Green, Nick Greenback, Bond, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Remy Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Barbara Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.A. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruben Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Urban, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Urban Sr., Michael Urban, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rayshawn Easley, Javea McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shekamaha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Louis Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Oliver, Mazarine Kofer, George Swan, Imani Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Edwards McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, and Shelby McClendon. Here we go, family. Joella Giles, James Carswell, Liberta Adams, Aunt Sis, Elder Shaka McNair, Anthony Brown, Jonathan Ford, Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shang Lewis, Ronald Shelton Jr., Damian Top, Westina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy, Mama, Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac Cundiff, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joey, Ryan Ross Riggins, Jamonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn Macaro, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jefferson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quasi Sample, Candace Simmons, Severin Clayton. What are you doing, girl? Leonard Jones, Melvin Scott, Sr., Elder Clarence Lumpkin. We lift up our glass and we salute. You ain't toasting with me no more? You just trying to, give me that. You go ahead, show them. That's Cerebro Lux, right? Family, listen, we lift up our glass. We salute all of our ancestors, all that are here, and all those that are to come. We lift up our glass and we say, Ashe. From there, family, where do we go? Where do we go? From there, we move. And where do we move to? We move to the present moment. Right now, we are in Imani. Let's go because I got people waiting, and I know y'all want to have these conversations. We are on Imani. And for those that don't speak the language, Imani means faith. Faith. Hold on, let me get this picture. Stop. All right. Imani means faith. The demonic principle of the day is harmony. The M7 is trust. Color is red. The Hermetic law is gender. Male name for the day is Quasi. It's your day, Quasi. What's going on? As a matter of fact, I think Quasi going to be doing this show tonight at 6 p.m. I wonder.
If the color is red, why aren't you wearing a red shirt?
Couldn't find my red shirt. Was too lazy. I ain't go downstairs. Hermetic law is gender. Male name for the day is Quasi. Female name is Akasua. Right? So we lift up our glass in this moment, understanding that in this moment is where all our power lie. And family, if we are not taking advantage of the moment, if we are not working in the moment, if we are not hustling in the morning, we are doing our ancestors as well as those future generations a disservice because they depend on us to lay the foundation upon which they will stand and also the foundation on which their lessons will be taught. We have a pact with the past as well as the present. In this moment, we lift up our glass and we say, Ashe. From there, we move on to our children, our children's children, on to infinity because we're responsible for them, right? And we say, Ashe, give me a moment, future. All right, we lift up our glass and we move from there and we go to all of our relations and we toast and we say, Ashe.
100 years.
No, not yet. Then we gonna give you that moment. It's your moment, family. What is it that you need in order to move to the next level? What is it that you need to build in this moment? We lift up our glass to you and we say, Ashe. And family, right now, I toast the most powerful, most magnificent, most beautiful, and most perfect individual in the room right now. And you know who that is? That's you. No, you. It's you. Stop looking around. Stop pointing at other people. It's you. It's you. Right? We lift up our glass and we say, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. I wish you peace, power, joy in 100 years. And now the lines are open. We can sip on some of this. I got my coach the appropriate coffee. So, here we go. Quasi, you still on the line? Of course. No, Quasi dropped off. Somebody else on the line from Worthington, Ohio. What's going on? Who is this on the line? What's on your mind? Before I get into what I want to talk about. All right.
I don't know.
Oh.
You kind of blew my cover. I was a ninja. I can't be the ninja no more.
Oh, okay. You can't. Now they're going to recognize your voice. I'm just like, but this ain't the regular number you be calling from, is it?
Nah, I broke that phone. I broke my phone. I had to use my
Okay, so did you call in twice and hung up?
Yeah.
Nah, I've been on the line the whole time.
So I wonder who that was that called in. All right, somebody, we got, we got somebody calling in from Wazadugu. I said it right?
Oh, you got it right.
I said it right.
You said it right.
The international correspondence of G-Army Journey is on the line with us right now. So now I got something interesting for you. Now check this out.
Okay.
So I got the last couple of minutes of the discussion between Monique and Steve Harvey, right? And I kind of want, I want to get into it because this is an important discussion, especially since we're moving into what we're moving into, because it's been a long time since I had a dream that I got jumped. I had a dream I got jumped last night, Quasi. I woke up, I jumped up, and I tried to go back to sleep to find them. I was in a discussion. I was in a hard discussion like we was last night. Because for those that don't know, we had a show last night. Quasi invited me out, and we ran into some of the Morris brothers, and we had a real nice discussion because I wanted people, because I want people to understand it's not necessarily about opposition, but we got to start getting our thoughts and our ideas out there and throw them up against the wall and see what sticks and see what don't stick. And then start helping each other and start forming those bonds, right? And it was a powerful conversation. But when I got home, I was hyped. I went to bed, and I was in a discussion in my dream, and the discussion of ADOS came up, and people started getting upset, started getting mad. Because I start identifying our interest in the discussion. And they got upset and they got mad. And it led to a point because I left, I was on my way out. Quasi was in a dream. I was on my way out and somebody was trying to get on me at first. And Quasi stopped him. And I walked out the door. And as I was walking out the door, two other brothers started following me. Quasi was still inside. I walked away. And that's when the jumping commenced. But this was just a dream. But what this is telling me is subconsciously, one, I'm still wrestling with the title ADS and ADOS. And I know that there's a bunch of our people out there that are going to be wrestling with this title. Now, the reason I wanted to bring that up with this discussion is because the thing that Steve Harvey is bringing out is one of the major dangers. Danger. Where my alert at? I need to warn everybody. I need to warn everybody. Take cover. Take cover. Fuckery alert. Fuckery alert. Please. Batten down the hatches. Batten down the hatches. Fuckery is afoot. And it's dangerous. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to play the last little piece. This probably get me in some trouble on one of these platforms, but I don't, we got to build. So listen to this. This is the end of, this is probably close to the end of their discussion. Let me make sure that I got it all the way up. Nope, I turned it off. Make sure it's all the way up. So here we go.
See, I'm hearing what you're saying, baby, and I agree with it when the narrative changes. But if all of y'all said, this is the only issue I have with it, baby, when all of y'all said privately, to include Oprah, all of y'all said privately, I've done nothing wrong.
When you tell the truth, you have to deal with the repercussions of the truth. We black out here. We can't come out here and do it any kind of way we want to. Listen to me. Your husband can't be the Sydney that he really is out here.
Let me tell you something.
That flexing,
Let me
we
tell
got to
you
flex
something.
a different way. We out here in a game. This the money game. This ain't the black man's game. This ain't the white man's game. This
the
is the
money
money
game.
game.
But
we in the money game. And
We're
you
in the money
cannot
game.
sacrifice yourself. The best thing you can do for poor people is not be one of them. You cannot
We're in
help
the money
them
game.
all.
But let me tell you.
Now, because Monique about to hit him in the mouth. Is everybody on the line? Could y'all hear it? I want to make sure y'all hear it.
Yeah, I heard it. You heard it.
Because Monique about to bust him in his mouth. But first, let's listen to what he said. He said that it's the money game. You can't be out here sacrificing yourself, right? And I mean, just listen to the tone, because this is the mind state of many of the people that we are going to be dealing with and that we deal with on a daily basis. We have to understand this and be very clear. This is a very, very dangerous issue, because this is why I'm bringing this up in context of my dream. What we have to understand is that they won't attack you from outside unless they have to. When they come at us, they are first going to attack. They're first going to use their quote unquote Agent Smiths on the inside. All they got to do is push the button, and anybody around us can turn into Agent Smith. You know what I'm saying? Give you a couple of extra cookies. You know what I'm saying? Give you some extra weed. You know what I'm saying? This is the environment we live in, where it's not about you black. You can't come out here and be like that. You can't be flexing like that. Listen to this shit. But go ahead, I'm sorry. And then I'm gonna let
the game is before the money game. Like before the money game, it's called the integrity game. And we've lost the integrity worrying about the money.
But Mo,
and wait a minute.
If I crumble, my children crumble, my grandchildren crumble. I cannot, for the sake of my integrity, stand up here and let everybody that's counting on me crumble so I can make a statement. There are ways to win.
Now, listen, I don't know if that's canned applause or if that's real applause, but I want you to hear what our people is clapping to and what the audience is clapping to. This man is saying that he can't allow himself to crumble. He can't allow his integrity, his character, to stand in the way of him making money. Do we understand this mind state? This is the mind state we dealing with. This is a motherfucker that will kill you. This is a dude who will put on a dress to get money. This is a dude that will do anything. He will sell his soul because he believes that his money is more important to pass down than his integrity. Now, what a lot of people don't understand is that when you look at the word integrity, the root word of integrity is integer. And what is integer? Integer is a whole number. If you don't have integrity, you're not whole. We're dealing with people who are not whole and will put us on the auction block. This is the mind state that made it possible for people to put other people put them on the auction block.
Listen, someone told me today that they ran across the post. It's interesting that you bring this up. That she was going down her timeline, and for lack of a better word, but a sister that calls herself quote unquote conscious had put on her post, "I just watched the Steve Harvey and Monique interview, and it's a damn shame Monique still don't get it." That's what she saw. So it's like
that's true. That's how even the conscious people think. That's how they think.
But if you look at that interview and you felt like that Monique was missing something as far as that she was like in the wrong, then I feel like you looked at that interview through a European lens. Because
I agree with you, But I would say you look at that interview from a hungry lens, to the lens of we don't have, and we got to do whatever we got to get.
And that's her point. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes some things you may have to do, but sometimes your integrity just has to stand. It just has to stand. Like, I mean, there's something for me, and I was raised poor, so I know some poor situations, and I know some messed up situations, and I've had pretty rough life. I tell you what, there's some things though, I can tell you right now, I'm just not cut to do. I'm just not cut to do. Because it would just mess up my whole, I couldn't even look myself. If I can't look myself in the mirror, then I just can't do it, money or not.
But I totally agree with you, and this is my take on this. I'm glad Steve exposed that mentality, and Monique sort of showed. So they showed the two mindsets floating around among Black Americans at any time. And for us, I have the Monique mindset. My mindset is this, we were slaves, we were sharecroppers. My grandmothers were only worked as domestics. We've done all that. We've gone through mass incarceration. So what can you do to me that ain't been done? Therefore, I'm going to if I can't keep nothing, I'm going to keep my integrity. And I think that's what Monique was saying.
Mm-hmm.
If you ain't got nothing but that, because that's about all we got at this point. He was saying basically, get the bag.
Get the bag.
Don't worry about nobody else. Get for you and yours.
Get the bag. That's the mindset.
But that get for you and yours got us to where we are now. And the you and yours, they don't even have it. I guarantee you, when Steve Harvey died, his kids probably won't have no more than your kids or my kids. While he going around selling out everybody. All these people who are going around selling out everybody, I guarantee you, when they pass away, their kids won't have any more than your kids or my kids.
Because we got family. This mind state.
Yeah. I know, it seems like it's just me and you on the call. I think he dropped.
No,
I can't watch YouTube and talk.
Quasi. Hello? Check one.
Okay, don't be walking off in the middle.
Who? I think, hello, can you hear me? Check one. Hello?
No, I ate. Okay. I understand. I ate. No, but that was my take on that Steve Harvey mentality. And to be honest, I don't think that was a surprise for us. I think
check
most
one, check two.
People who think like us, I believe they run it.
All right, family. I got dropped off, so I'm going back in. We're going to try to go back in. Real good conversation.
This conference is being recorded by the organizer.
And we know how to...
Can I join y'all conversation? Y'all have kicked me off.
We were waiting for you to do it. We had a whole moment of silence. And
no, you wasn't. No, y'all wasn't quiet at all. Navita, you jumped right over.
Crazy.
You didn't give me a chance. I could dig it, though. Because it is y'all show. It is Giammi Journey is community property or tribal. I take that back. Tribal property. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking for individuals that are about the integrity game. Because I understand. Because it's kind of hard unless you in that situation. But when you hear how he's coming at her.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like you can't see what if Marcus Garvey had that mind state? What if Malcolm X put that cut off? What if Malcolm X because they're always turn okay. What is it takes that type of mind state to move things, because sometimes, like I said, because like I talk about black folks in America, ADOS, when I say it, we are the sacrifice in which America used to move to the next level of Western civilization. Our blood, our bones, it was a sacrifice. And in order for shit to happen, there has to be sacrifices. As they say, if you want to make omelets, you gotta crack some eggs. And if you can make the shells of those eggs people outside of you, then you do that shit. Period.
I'm going to add something. You're right. We are the reason America moved to the next level, and we are the reason Africa is at the bottom.
We're the reason what? Say that again.
We're the reason Africa is at the bottom.
Because we left.
America used us to propel, and when Africa sold us, Africa dropped to the bottom. This continent is at the bottom for that reason.
Any thoughts?
Are we the reason that Africa is what it is?
No, because we're gone. Because we're gone.
Because we're gone. They got rid of. They said that transatlantic slave trade was half of the population of Africa, of sub-Saharan Africa. Half.
Basically, Africa sold its integrity, is what you're saying, right?
Yep.
Hard truths, family. That's what we do. Blowing up paradigms. You know what I'm saying? Because and
yeah, right. That's pretty devastating. I never thought it was quite that plainly, but that sounds about right.
Yep.
So now that brings me to
for America to get on top.
That brings me.
That pushed Africa to the bottom.
Check one, check two.
Integrity.
Check one, check two.
Continue to do so, it seems.
Yep.
Once again, they keep kicking me out. Y'all so damn mean.
This conference is being recorded by the organizer.
Factor as a people still is, can we understand that it's a continuous thing? Because one of the 48 laws of power is planned all the way to the end. So even in that, understanding that our people seem to be thinking that this shit is all just spontaneously happen. Like, you're always going to be revising, but there's always an end game. Like strategists, military minds always have an end game. They don't start some shit unless it's something that they're all simply trying to accomplish. And it never was like to create America and get money and this and that. All of those things were means to an end. It was to be the most dominant human or humanoid species on the planet. And another of the 48 laws of power is crush your enemy totally.
And they weren't able to do that. That's what they see, because
they haven't given up. Like, I think it's been a long-term process. I don't think that saying that they weren't able to do it is, I think that they're still actively working on it, because they all have to they have to do it while we're asleep, because they know if we wake up, we are pretty fucking vicious.
Oh, and the wake up is upon another wake up is upon us. You know what I'm saying? We've been rolling over in the past, but I think we're about to get up out the bed real soon, and the world is gonna be shocked. You know what I'm saying? But now, and also now, this is one of the things that I want to be careful on, because these motherfuckers ain't that smart. I'm just saying. I got to throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we make them a little bit smarter than they might actually be, because anybody ever plans something know that, all right, cool. The objective is to have the party. But all of the shit that happens to have the surprise party that happened in between, you know what I'm saying? You have to adjust. And they just basically adjusted. And now we adjusted. And the question and the thing that we got to determine for ourselves, Quasi, is what is the end? What's the end? We start with the end in mind. What's the end that we have in the discussions that we have in it and the movement that we're going towards? Somebody else is about to say something, because I want to finish the Monique piece.
Well, the Monique piece too. I noticed that when she first came out, when she started talking about Netflix, and then she started talking about, other things, she immediately, in my opinion, she got she's crazy, she don't know what she's talking about. She got for lack of a better term, blackballed, and even her own people was looking at her like, oh, she ain't all of that, and she ain't, and then, she's a troublemaker, She was labeled as the troublemaker of comedy. You know what I'm saying? But I think that a lot of times those who have the not popular opinion, which does not always mean they're wrong, they just have the not popular opinion, they get this, they don't speak in a way that when they speak in a way that makes others feel uncomfortable about white supremacy, even our own people, then that in the midst of that being uncomfortable, we have a tendency to lash out at the person that's making us feel uncomfortable.
That's right.
By saying that they're crazy,
right,
or they're difficult.
And that's what that's what we have to get prepared for, because part of this whole DOS movement is being able to be in situations and have people around you feeling uncomfortable. That's part of the strategy. Motherfuckers have to figure out what to say and how to say it. Not because necessarily it's the political correct thing, but how am I going to address y'all? It's no longer you come in and just get us hyped up on emotions. We're going to run out and vote for you. It's no longer that you could just come and talk about you got hot sauce in your purse, or that you play a saxophone, or that you look like me, that we're going to run out and we're going to do things for you. And we just going to expect and accept. When you start doing that shit, like Monique is saying, give me my motherfucking due. Right?
Right.
Give me my due. And when she said, this is what I'm worth, and no, when she said no to all those people, bitch, how dare you say no? Who are you to say no to me? And then all of a sudden she became crazy.
Who are you to say no to them? Who do you think you are, Monique? You gonna say no to them? You ain't all that.
You owe them an apology. And they owe you an apology too. And it's like we want to be in the middle of the road and not make people uncomfortable. We black out here. We can't move like that. No, really, listen to the mind state. That's like motherfucking the slave quarters. I mean, that slave quarters talk. We black out here. We can't move like that.
That's what he does. That's what propelled him to the national level. Like, I'm from Chicago, and I used to listen to Chicago radio, and then they switched to Steve Harvey, and I was like, he is so inarticulate. He doesn't even sound like he should be on the radio, let alone national radio. When he went national, and that's when I stopped listening to the largest black station in Chicago. I wasn't going to listen to Steve Harvey. He is so inarticulate. He's so backwards in his thought process. And he was propelled to the national
level. Listen, and this is what
Steve Harvey sounds like every black Christian, or every black Christian addict. You know what I mean? Every black person that's addicted to Christianity or addicted to churchianity.
That's inarticulate. I can't stand Steve Harvey. I've never liked him.
We black out here.
I didn't realize when they pushed him forward. Think about it. Who did he step on to get where he was? There was other black people in place who were articulate, who were radio people who trained in radio, people who trained in journalism. Steve Harvey.
This conference is being recorded by the organizer.
A lot of black folks. Matter of fact, who passed away? Was that Bernie Mac? Bernie Mac. You know Bernie Mac.
He's funny.
He fucked Bernie Mac.
He was by far the least funniest of the king of comedy.
Wait, hold on, time out. See,
Bernie
we got to wait.
Got offered a role in that Ocean's 11 or whatever that movie is. What is it, Ocean's 11?
Hey, check this out.
Hello?
We got to be clear that Steve Harvey. See, a lot of people. I want y'all to think about this. Was Steve Harvey a king of comedy?
He was the host.
He was the host. He wasn't the host. He wasn't the king of comedy. He was a goddamn host.
Exactly.
We got to be clear about that.
But he got chose. He got chose for a reason.
Look, I ain't saying he didn't. But hold on. Let's go and finish this. Let's go and finish the last couple of seconds of this interview because we black out here. We can't move like that. Quincy, you can't be flexing on motherfuckers and saying shit that listen, Quincy.
Master let you use the phone?
Right, listen, Quincy is one of those that you be sitting in a conversation be like, we gonna have to fight. This motherfucker, Quincy say some shit to motherfuckers that you be like.
I agree.
You was just supposed to think that shit. I'm thinking you just supposed to. This nigga just look. Hold on, homie. This nigga said some shit last night. I said, "Oh, we about to fight up in this motherfucker." Oh my god.
Quite.
Oh my god. I be like, oh. I ain't listen. Hey, those that want to hear it, call in. I mean, don't call in, but listen to the show on Spreaker because it was fucked up on Facebook. But I want to make sure the Facebook family knew it was on. But this is the end. This is the end of the Monique piece. You said what?
What show are we listening to?
The show from last night. But right now we're listening to Monique having a conversation with Steve Harvey. And right now the discussion.
I'm gonna say real quick,
go ahead.
It's your fault. You taught me steel sharpens steel, iron sharpens iron.
You goddamn right.
You know,
listen,
I gotta see what people. I'm gonna check the temperature in the room.
Listen, you do with me because I was with my elder Gaylord. I would be in meetings and I would disrupt that shit just by spurting out some shit, and everybody either be mad or laughing. And Gaylord looked at me one day and say, "Listen, dog, I put that shit in you. That's what the fuck you supposed to do." You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, it's not mad. I'm just letting you know because I can't wait till you get to the point where one day me and you talking and you gonna be talking about the young person up under you that is just spouting shit off because that's what you helped this motherfucker become. Be like, oh my God, we about to fight. But hold on, let's finish this interview.
Let's do.
The war in a different way. We got more right after this.
Oh, my fault. He went to a commercial. My fault. Hold on. I'm going to back up just a little bit.
And we've lost the integrity worrying about the money.
But Mo.
And wait a minute.
We're going to play it all the way through fucking.
Oprah. All of y'all said privately, I've done nothing wrong.
When you tell the truth, you have to deal with the repercussions of the truth. We black out here. We can't come out here and do it any kind of way we want to. Listen to me. Y'all.
I have to stop it. When you black, you can't tell the truth. I'm going to keep it moving.
Husband can't be the Sydney that he really is out here.
Let me tell you something.
That flexing, we got to flex a different way. We out here in a game. This the money game. This ain't the black man's game. This ain't the white man's game. This is the money game.
But
we in the money game. And you cannot sacrifice yourself. The best thing you can do for poor people is not be one of them. You cannot help them.
We're in the money game. But let me tell you what the game is before the money game. Before the money game is called the integrity game. And we've lost the integrity worrying about the money.
But Mo,
and wait a minute.
If I crumble, my children crumble, my grandchildren crumble. I cannot, for the sake of my integrity, stand up here and let everybody that's counting on me crumble so I can make a statement. There are ways to win the war in a different way. We got more right after this.
We ain't got no more after that. I'm cutting that motherfucker off. Listen, I am family. First off, the best way to help black poor people, who he majorly talk to, is not to be one of them. That's past the pimp talk.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, I mean, I sometimes I don't honestly, like, for example, because I also wanted to talk a little bit about, because Mayweather fits into the same type of shit.
Oh, yes, he does, baby.
You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers actually think they escaped blackness because of the money. They have escaped our issues. They haven't escaped.
You know what it is, Hatim?
What is it?
Sometimes I find that we use some terms like rather loosely, right, and inaccurately. I always talk about the term Uncle Tom, but that's not what I'm going to talk about right now because I don't know if you took your meds today. But what I want to talk about is this term coon and this idea of blackface.
this idea that my girlfriend, she works for Alliance Data. She told me, she said last year they had this thing where they invited, Alliance Data does a lot of stuff in the schools, right? They donate a lot of money, right? They donate food bags every winter. They do a lot for Columbus City schools, right? Different schools. Probably different districts too. She said, so they did this thing with the kids. She said that there's not too many black people, especially that work in her department, right? So she said they go down to this place and they got all these black kids on this stage performing. And she said you got all these white people sitting in the audience and then you got a few black people. And she said she was watching the whole time thinking, damn, this looks like some buffoonery, right? It looks like these white people are being entertained by black folks, right? This conversation just happened Thursday, but it makes me think of our entertainers. Some of these entertainers are cool. Some of these people that speak, try to advocate, put themselves in the forefront as if they are our voice, as if they are our image. They are cool. They are entertaining white folks. So I used to say this about your dude, and then I'm going to get off of it. Your dude, what's his name?
I don't know. Listen. No, you can say his name, but I don't know why you want to preface it with my dude. I listen to multiple people, so I'm going to say it for you. Tommy Sotomayor. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So now.
So my thing with him was not that
that shit is hilarious. I'm sorry. Some of that shit.
It wasn't as if there was never any truth in the things that he said, because there was. But I just felt like he was entertaining an audience, and it was inappropriate. You know what I'm saying? Now I'll call some shit out too, and sometimes people get mad at me. You know what I'm saying? I'll say something and people get mad at me too. But I felt like he was doing it on a regular, and the people who the audience he was entertaining and giving fire to wasn't us. You see what I'm saying? True. But some of these people are blackface. Your dude Mayweather, I was gonna call him Mayweather. He's blackface. He's a coon. And
he is.
Like I said,
he used to not be. I don't know what.
Yeah, the unfortunate part is
he's isolated.
We use that term. We use that term so often, and a lot of times we're using it wrong. You know what I'm saying? So we just call people coons, but really these coons are these people that will poke fun at us, who will give these white folks energy to ridicule, to dog. You know what I'm saying? They perpetuate the stereotype. That's what it is.
I with you. I just think that I think we shouldn't be too tight with that term. I think we should apply it as loosely as possible, because we have a lot of people who have that, and then they put on a mask when they're with us. You know, they do a lot of that, covering up when they're with us, and then they switch. They do code switching all the time. So I don't think we're wrong with using that loosely. I don't think we're wrong with that.
Now, so, because what I was going to say was, Quasi, which law is it where they talk about the dangers of isolation and 48 laws of power? Because this is what's happening to a lot of our black entertainers and supposed black folks with money, because they basically get isolated. And in their isolation, you know what I'm saying? They get a diluted reality. Because they start thinking, I mean, it's almost like some of these niggas honestly think that all of us made it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember exactly what number it is, but like the idea behind it is like everything is fluid. Everything is always moving and changing. And then when you isolate yourself, you going to be riding on yesterday's trend and thinking that you up to date, up to speed. But you're going to come, because you always got to re-immerse yourself in the society in some way. You know, even if you're rich and you got the opportunity to live disconnected from the average person, in some way you're going to have to be connected. You're going to have to reconnect. And then when you do, if you isolate yourself too much, when you reconnect, then you're going to be living in an old paradigm.
That's true. I even experienced that living abroad, and I do a lot of things to stay connected with my people. So
And sometimes I have been accused of being disconnected, primarily from my family members. When I say things about Black people, they tell me, well, you don't know, you're not here.
Question on that front. Now, I want to move just a little bit in another direction. We can continue the conversation. If Lady J come back, she might have something that she want to add to that. But I want to kind of move the conversation along because it's like, you know, I just want to make sure that we understand that the attacks are not going to be from the outside. It's going to start inside first. And we got to prepare ourselves. And we got to understand that we're going to make, when you are Black, you make others uncomfortable, especially when you are standing up asking, where is mine? Where is mine?
Building off of what you said just now, I'm thinking like it's being going. The attack is like we kind of at a, how you call it? Like it's at a pitch. It's at a height right now. Right. And the main thing that's going on in our community, the main war that we're fighting is the men against the women. And that shit's been going on since the 70s. I've been like doing a little bit of research on that shit, just how after the 60s and the whole civil rights era, they realized that the Black family was the pillar of the Black power movement. So that's when they undermined the Black family. And we're at the breaking point. Like at this point, it's inevitable. We're at an inevitable point of shift because it can't sustain itself any longer. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, my thing is like with Black women, that I ain't got no love for no Black woman that's on some Me Too shit. If you say Me Too, unless I ask who wants another slice of pizza, and you're the second person to ask for something, then I don't fuck with nobody that got nothing to say with Me Too, because you the enemy. Period. I don't want to, and it's that cut and dry. I don't want to hear shit. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, the Bible says 144,000. I was just thinking about that. 144,000 people is going to escape from Babylon. I don't know if I'm even accurate, but that shit sounds about right. I can't show you where the quote in the Bible, none of that shit. But that's like 1/25% of the United States population. 1/25% of the population of the United States is who I fuck with.
And that one, that's that. You know what that's called, Quasi? That's called a tribe. That's what that's called. You know what I'm saying? That's called a tribe. We have to understand that because we came to a point in our discussion last night where it's like, you know, because what happens when we eliminate the problem of white supremacy? I said then obviously your tribe and my tribe is gonna have beef. See, because this is one thing that people don't understand. I honestly, there's always gonna be beef. There's always beef. Always. And if there's no beef, in many cases, you might have to manufacture some beef to keep people busy. We don't understand this shit. We constantly are in a flux between violence and peace. In order to maintain peace, you got to have violence. In order to stop the violence, you have to, there is a cycle that's going on. And for some reason, we're caught in la-la land and can't see that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you know, we want everybody to get no. As Black people, we need to circle the wagons and get ready for all the motherfuckers that's going to be trying to intrude. And sometimes we might not be able to distinguish who might be coming to help us and who might be coming to harm us. And your orders are to shoot, goddammit. Right? You ain't going to let nobody inside the motherfucking circle that could possibly kill all of us. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. I mean, because it's getting bad, man. And it's like, boom. We allies. We could be allies from a distance. We could work together from a distance until there's some type of proof. You know what I'm saying? Some type of undeniable proof. But even with that shit, we know all that shit could be manufactured. Now I want to move on. Does the Columbus Way help the Black community? So I'm going through my timeline and I see an article from the Dispatch, and I want to read this one because It's a question that needs to be asked about everything in every city that we are, wherever you are, family. This is a question that you need to be asking about everything. Like in New York, people that was in that neighborhood was basically asking, what we gonna get? Black people want to know what they gonna get when Amazon come into an already crowded city and bring all them, you know what I'm saying? Rather than just moving us, what the fuck we gonna get? We have to start being able to ask these questions and not be uncomfortable about asking these questions. Whether it's the dog catcher or the president of the fucking United States. We got to be able to ask that question. We got to be politically selfish. We got to be politically about ourselves, because if not, we always gonna lose. So here we go. The Columbus Way has been credited with helping to save the Columbus crew, building the Scioto Mile, and bring the new Veterans Memorial and Museum to fruition. So we know where it is, those that's in Columbus. The formula includes public-private partnerships, cooperations, and the polite Midwestern way of doing things, often behind the scenes. It has been cited many times. The Harvard Business School studies and teaches the Columbus way of pulling off projects that requires heavy lifting and often lots of money. But as the Black History Month continues, some wonder whether these projects trickle down to the grassroots levels, particularly to those in the African American community. Once again, we move from Black to African American, and let's see where it goes next. Many in the community are, and we got to stop them from being able to use these as interchangeable terms. Many in the community are looking for bigger strides to benefit to strengthen their economic and social stability and political influence, which all people should. People talk a good game. I want to see action, said Nana Watson, who leads the NAACP Columbus chapter. Nobody wants to have an in-depth conversation in the community. Everybody gets along. But not everything is good, she said. People are in poverty, and I'm going to stop at these numbers, and you could go on and read the rest. Because the reason I pulled it up, because I want to share these numbers, because I want y'all to see this shit. There's inadequate housing. All of those things have to do with race relations. Franklin County's African American population is now 307,394, of which about 27.3% live in poverty. That's over a quarter. According to the U.S. Census estimates, about 10.8% of the white Franklin County residents live in poverty in 2017. Did y'all hear what I said?
Yeah, I heard it.
Say it again.
Franklin County's, this us. This our tribe. Franklin County's African American population is now over 300,000. I'm just going to say that. Of which about 27.3% live in poverty. More than a quarter of black people that live in Franklin County, the county that we are presently in right now, is living in poverty. According to U.S. Census estimates, about 10.8% of white Franklin County residents live in poverty. And African American babies in Franklin County are 3 times more likely to die than white babies. Watson said race relations are better here than they were decades ago, but not as good as they should be. She mentioned the Kerner Commission report from 1968, which concluded that the nation was fracturing into 2 societies, one black, one white, separate but equal, separate and unequal. Now, I just wanted to stress those numbers. So just here in Franklin County, a quarter of the people that look like us. That means 1 out of every 4 of us, when we get together, 1 out of every 4 is in poverty.
Based on what they call poverty.
and then, yeah, let's get to that shit. Based on what they call poverty.
What they call poverty.
So actually, how many is it?
Yep.
See, we don't have these numbers, but we got the skills, we got the ability to go out and get it, because we assume because motherfuckers wear fancy tennis shoes and they got cell phones that everybody is doing all right.
No.
And the question that's being asked of this project and that we need to start asking is, where's my cut?
Yep.
Where's the guaranteed paid jobs for my people? What benefits will we receive from this project since it's the Columbus Way? Or does the Columbus Way not include us? We're not in on those discussions. And the ones of us that are in on the discussion are isolated and think like Steve Harvey.
Yeah. The people sitting at the table, well, that's how they think.
Sitting at the table, talking about we black out here. We can't flex like that.
Right, because if you do, NASA gonna get you.
Gonna get you. And I'm living good. I don't know about the rest of you niggas, and I really don't care. See, and what we have to do is we have to start electing conscious politicians. And I'm not talking about conscious in our way. I'm talking about politicians that are aware of us, that speak and address us, and that we know is beholden to us, and we are able to reward and punish. Fuck all the other shit.
Everything you're saying is right. I just feel like we need to understand what we up against. It hasn't gotten really serious yet, but you remember when it does get serious, they're ready. You know, the opposition is ready. So we need to, if we want to, one thing Steve Hardy, Steve Hardy, he did say, if you tell the truth, you should be ready for those consequences. We are people telling the truth, and we need to be ready for those consequences. Are we ready? Are we ready?
Uh-oh.
I don't know.
Uh-oh. Are we ready? See, and that's one of the questions that we have to start having within our circles. Are we ready? Because what does being ready mean? Because it ain't just about storing up food and shit. I mean, that's cool.
Right.
You know, that's cool. But it's more than about that shit. See, because now, I was reading a bit. I'm not officially in, but Yvette Cornell has a reading. What is it? When you read a book together? And I went out
a book club,
and I got the book that they are looking at is American Freedom, American Slavery, or some shit like that. Now, at the end of the book, because I was kind of disappointed by the goddamn book, actually, but it gave me some good ass information because they talk about the formation of Virginia prior to a certain time up into about the American Revolution and how they had formed a commerce system using tobacco. And one of the things that you start understanding is that the mind state that Thomas Jefferson was in, he was saying that, and in a sense, Socrates and other thinkers agreed with him that the only way that you can really sustain a republic is by having people who actually work in the soil and produce something. They don't consider motherfuckers that are merchants and they really don't, because they say that compromises a population, because your business depends on you being able to do business with others, which means that you can easily sell out. So the way to establish a secure republic is by having the members of the republic that are able to be as independent as possible. And part of that food piece is we already know we exist in food deserts. We already know that if the shit go down, that in order for us to eat, we're gonna have to click up and go on food runs. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about going grocery shopping. I'm talking about having those pistols, having those rifles, and going on motherfucking food runs.
Food runs. What?
And I'm just
multiple people living together, multiple families living together in one house.
Because if the shit hit
Are
the
you
fan,
ready for that? Ready for that?
I practice for that shit for
Sharing
years.
cars. You don't have your own car because you truth tellers, it's going to be hard for y'all to get jobs. So you may have 1 out of 4 who works sustainably. The rest got to lean on him. Are we ready to share cars? Are we ready to give money to people who are sick? Are we ready for that? I don't know.
I mean,
that's what that said.
In many ways, we're being forced to that because, Uber is sharing a car. Motherfuckers really don't realize that, but that's what Uber.
That is true. It's called car sharing, but
you can actually share a ride with somebody on Uber if you want.
Ride share.
Yeah,
ride share.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's what Uber has. It's almost like Uber was anticipating. The lack of jobs, the lack of things that we would have. But it's going to get real.
Oh, it's about to get real, really real. Real soon, real fast.
Real fast. This is one thing that I think that a lot of people kind of don't take into consideration as far as the powers that be in the United States, the money interests. They don't give a fuck about nobody. They don't give a fuck about white people.
Not at all.
And they also know that American white people are the biggest drain to the rest of the planet. The most wasteful. Like, even like, we talk about renewable resources like the oil, and maybe that whole thing might not be, it might be renewable. But the landfills are filling up. We waste a lot of food as Americans, and we pollute everything. Trash, we got trash everywhere. Like, I'll never forget when I kayaked down Alum Creek, it's so much trash. It was beautiful to be out there and to just hear birds and all kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But it's trash everywhere. That shit is disgusting. And it's right in our backyard. It feels like nature, but it also just feels like, God, damn, this is disgusting. You know what I mean? Even when you get a little bit away from the city a little bit, it's still trash everywhere. Like, everywhere, man. It's crazy. And so at the end of the day, they don't give a fuck about white Americans. They'll let this whole shit plunge into chaos. They'll let all of these motherfuckers die because that ultimately really gives Earth the best chance of survival with getting rid of all of these fucking Americans.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, that sounds like a bad strategy because the middle class was set up to protect the rich class. So if you let all of them die, there ain't gonna be no protection because one thing that is for sure, you're going to have some poor motherfuckers that make it through. You know what I'm saying? So who going to protect your rich ass from, you know what I'm saying? So you got to have a buffer class.
I think, so to extend that theory out, the Georgia Guidestone says that whoever created the Georgia Guidestone says that Earth should exist in perpetual harmony with total human population on the whole planet of 500 million people. We at 700 or 7 billion 500 million. Man. So that means 7 billion people on the planet have to die in order for the Georgia Guidestone to manifest itself.
Right.
There's only 350 million people in America. So if 50 million Americans survive, that's 10%. You know what I mean? So look at what's going on in the Middle East. You don't think that they're going to want to drop? They're going to want to just blow a bunch of them, just wipe all of them fucking people out to make the comparison. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
they're going to try to say like if they say 10% of the Europeans, 10% of the American white people in their mind, and wipe out 99% of the rest of these motherfuckers, then you got your 500 million.
But this is the point. I'm just going to say, fuck the Georgia Guidestones. Because first off, we don't even know who erected that.
Well, I mean...
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Go ahead.
probable, but how far away is that?
What, 500 million?
Well, they said that they just pushed up the whole, like, Okay, two things just came to mind. First, they pushed up their theory of how sustainable our current way of life is. It was like 2050 was like 10 years ago, but in 2018 they said 2030. By 2030, this lifestyle that we currently live as Americans in particular, or what Americans kind of setting the pace for how humans should live, because everybody's catching up to this. Everybody's getting a little bit more and more wasteful, more and more westernized. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So,
well, Quasi.
I don't even like to say Western. I don't like
Check
Western. I hear Western everywhere. It's not freaking Western. It's white people. Can we? I'm sorry, Quasi. I don't want to offend you, but
This conference is being recorded by the organizer.
because, I mean, I think people of color inhabited every corner of the planet before all this fuck shit started happening. So I agree with you. Thank you, actually, thank you.
I am going to say, I forgot. I got kicked off the line, goddammit. I had to come back in. And since we talking about numbers, we can move into the next piece of the conversation. Since Quasi brought up the numbers, we have the 2020 census coming up. And a major question that's on the Supreme Court docket is to decide whether the 2020 census will include citizenship question. The citizenship question. Now, I'm believing that the 2020 census should also have a distinguishing box for ADOS. What's your thoughts on that?
I heard. Didn't Darity say that?
Oh yeah, hell yeah, he been said that. You know what I'm saying? Because
no, but I thought he said the census was going to include that.
I don't know if it's going to include that. I need to look that up. I know that they had this whole citizenship question, but I don't know if officially if the census is going to have that, because that would be good.
I thought it was official. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll look that up too, but I think we're moving in that direction. I think the whole ADOS is moving in that direction. And actually, it makes sense because we didn't become African Americans until the 80s. In fact, I remember when it happened, I was in Sierra Leone at the time, and my neighbor was like, "Oh, you African now?" I was like, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, I just heard on the radio Jesse Jackson calling you guys African Americans. That was your new name." So the 80s wasn't that long ago.
Man.
We have a bunch of people, our parents, our grandparents, they were never really African American. So the fact that we are saying we want something to distinguish who we are because that's what we had before. We want to go back to what we had. And I think that's a natural progression.
Man, because when I think about what you're saying, you said since the 80s. Yeah, because
it happened in the 80s.
The African American piece and just the black marker, because even because I remember the federal applications didn't even have African American on it. They had black.
They sure didn't. That's a new thing.
You know what I'm saying? They had black on there.
It's real new. It's real new.
And the piece that a lot of people might not understand with that argument is that it allows them to dilute the numbers for black folks in America so that they could mask the mass failure of black folks. The mass failure. Somebody come get this door.
No, for a fact, I know. I'm a teacher, and I tutor kids, and I give guidance some African kids to go to school in the States and stuff, scholarships. I've done all that. Kids will be like filling out the form, and they'll be like, "There's nothing for me to say what I am." All they can say is African American.
Mm-hmm.
For some people, it's not like they want to do that.
But that's all that's there.
They start off with that. They look at me, and I'm like, you got to put that.
Check the
You're
box.
going to the States now.
You are African American just like me.
And now, it's out of hand, because you know right now there's a big beef. There's a beef of brewing between ADOS and Pan Africans. The shit is heating up. Yeah, all you gotta do is go through the internet. It's heating up. You know what I'm saying? Because my whole perspective is, you have to be able to put on your mask before you are able to help somebody else put on their mask when the plane is going down. And I think that's all ADOS is doing. That's all that we need to do in America. That's what we need to do in each country, where we are able to pull together just critical masses. It don't even have to be all the people, just critical masses of individuals that have a basic understanding. And then we could start meeting at the point of where our interests cross. That's how you develop business. That's how you develop relationships. You know what I'm saying? But if you willy-nilly just befriending everybody, you just open to everybody, anybody could walk up in your house, you are constantly in danger. You're constantly in danger. Now, Brother Shaka,
our leadership
go
did
ahead.
that to us. We did that to ourselves. Our leadership did that to us.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. Brother Shaka just joined the call. What's going on, Shaka? You all late.
Checking y'all out, seeing what the rhythm is before I jump on in.
Oh. Well, man, the rhythm about to end, brother, because I got to get up out of here and get over to the school. I got to start working on this newsletter. I got to go and send out some more text about the mall,
the G&J Mall.
Right. So, Sister Navita, why don't you go on it? Why don't you give everybody a brief discussion about the Purge movie, since there's some rumbles. You know what I'm saying?
Some people are not feeling the whole idea of watching this movie, The First Purge. Now, has anybody on the line seen the movie?
I haven't seen it.
You have, Quasi?
No, I think that was shocking.
Nah, I haven't. I wanted to see it, but I think this is the perfect chance to watch it.
This movie is, well, like how Tim talked about the symbolism, very important symbolism in this movie. And sometimes there's things that happen in our community, and just talking to somebody, it just ain't enough. But with the First Purge movie, I think by seeing it in this kind of way, some things for some people may be able to click from visually seeing what was manifest in this movie. And, you know, a lot of times when we go to one of the purposes of having the family movie with the village is the conversation after. And this movie has a lot of talking points for conversation when it comes to us as a people. And I don't know if this is life imitating fiction or fiction imitating life, but there's a lot that can be pulled out of this movie for discussion with us as a people. And no, it's not one of those movies where it's just always to the detriment of black folks. It's where we're always losing. It's not one of those types of movies. It's not that we are winning or losing in particular in this movie. And I don't want to give away too much, but it's got a lot of symbolism, and there's a reason why, even like I said, if you look at the cover for the movie, and it has a black man with his blood coming down his face, locked. His hand is up in the air like the Statue of Liberty holding a torch, but he's holding a Molotov cocktail. And then the other hand, in the Molotov cocktail is on fire. Then the other hand, he's holding some kind of a book. And it's really a symbol in that of the cover all on its own. You know, and what does it say? Give me liberty or give me death. So, I mean, I think it's a good movie to see, especially for discussion. So
yeah, and that's why we had a movie so that we could sit down and watch it together and discuss it. And at the same time, you're gonna have the mall going on, and you're gonna be able to get up and go and shop. Check out Gianni. We're trying.
So when are you When is this? When is this happening?
On the 23rd, next Kaumba from 12 to 6 p.m. We'll be having a
Oh
yeah, we
and then we're gonna have. And if anybody needs to get cleaning products, you can come get your, whether it be your Tide, your bleach, your air fresheners, your cleaning rag, whatever. Come on out to the G&J Mall, because we got a sister who got all that stuff.
Got all of it. She sent us pictures. Listen, family, she gonna have a.
And I put some pictures on my Facebook page if you want to see. That's just, matter of fact, I'll tell you, if you got any other pictures she sent you, please send them to me.
All right, it's 20. She setting up a $20 and a $40 box, right?
Right.
Okay, so she's gonna be setting up a $20 and $40 box. Family, we're not just talking about shea butter and books. You know what I'm saying? Kwesi, no, I'm serious, because a lot of people, when certain people are involved and we have a certain slant, some people think that it's limited. Family, we are talking about vending, providing vending space. Kwesi, tell them about the idea.
Shop. You need a place to do a pop-up shop?
Right.
That's where you could be.
Kwesi, tell them about the idea you had.
What idea?
Oh my God. About the vending?
Oh,
you saving it?
Yeah, I forgot what I called it. The swap shop?
Say it again.
Where, like a barter table?
He wanted to have a barter table.
And no cash allowed. I ain't had a chance to flush the thought out as much. I was thinking maybe just on some preliminary, maybe a continued thing. Buying some type of intermediate, like if you want, you can take your cash and buy a token or something, or some type of chip or something, or just straight up exchange and shit. You know what I mean? Have somebody there, kind of a mediator, moderator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you could have a computer there, so you could look up values and shit. You know, see how much a relative value is, and then people just
like a person.
And it can even be bullshit. Like I could come with something I don't even really want. Or something that might have some value that I don't really need. You know what I mean?
That somebody else may want.
You know what I mean? Just the opportunity really to build the skill of compromise with people, or, like mutual compromise. Hey, Hatem, let me ask you something. How many produce vendors do you have? How many produce vendors? Oh.
One.
You say one?
Yep.
Okay. And here's just a little something, man. And it might not make or break an event or anything like that, but there are produce vendors here that follow the farmers market. They're booked through the farmers. It's one organization that runs like 5 of the major farmers markets on all sides of Cleveland, right? But the piece is that when you go there, if you want to use an EBT card, they swipe it and they give you tokens.
Right.
And the piece about it is listen, the piece about it is that let's say you buy $5 in produce. They're giving you $10 in produce. So I'm just figuring, even with the kids with the micro greens, that's big right now. So you have microgreens in a place where people can double up on it, because, people still in a place where they're trying to transition and understand the benefits of that over regular greens. You know what I mean? So, but it's just a thought. I don't know what it takes to be able to use the EBT cards and to get up on that program.
Right now,
yeah, that's a government regulation stuff. I work with EBT,
and that's way possibly in the future. We're just providing. I told you my superpower is providing space and time. We provide.
As far as like what Quasi was saying, I was thinking along the same way. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sis.
No, I was just going to add in, in terms of the future, I told you guys about what my husband and I have. We make wine in Senegal. So, if there's anybody who wanted to do something with us, we're always open. Right now, we're not selling anything in the States. We only really sell in Senegal. Yeah, so.
What's the regulations on shipping some stuff over here from there like that?
Say that again?
What's the regulations of shipping something like wine? Because if I wanted to do ambrosia over there, I'm quite sure it might be difficult to for me to even bring the SCOBY in the country.
Wine is, alcohol is regulated by the FTB, Federal Tobacco and Alcohol Association. But the way it works essentially is the producer cannot sell wine direct to the consumer unless it's on the producer's property. And in our case, we are in Senegal. So you're talking about you have to import it from Senegal to the United States.
Right.
Now, if you import it, then you can sell it, but you just have to import it. So we've had tastings in the States, for friends and family. That's how we got out. We've done like 3 tastings, in Chicago. So we've done tastings and things like that. But we haven't sold any wine, of course, in the United States. I've sent wine to a distributor, an African-American lady who does distributing wine in Africa. And I've talked to her a few times. So we're still open. And I've talked to a lot of people who say, yeah, I want to get your wine. We want to get your wine in the States. We want to do that. But it's work. It's paperwork. It's, a process. And in my case, we're not there in the States necessarily. So, and to distribute wine, to import wine from outside the United States and distribute it, you have to have an address in the United States. You have to have an address.
Your company?
Where your business. You have to have an address. It doesn't have to be. You just have to say, I'm a distributor and this is my address. It could be where you live.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You can have a home business, but you have to have that. And so that's the only thing you have to have to get a distributor's license. Yep.
Yeah, but in regard to the barter piece that Quasi was talking about, I was even thinking within the G&J community mall that people could do just that. If you had some things you wanted to sell that are of some value, but you just don't want them anymore, or whatever your reason may be for selling them, then you could get a table for $20,
and
then you could, and other people could get a table. And if that's selling you can barter with other people who have items that y'all might want to exchange those items. You may pay $20 for the booth, but you might come back with like $150 worth of stuff you got for just bartering.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you're still, it makes you, you're not wasting your $20, and that's a low vendor fee anyway.
Low.
But and even it's worth this even to me. It's even worth just giving just on the mere fact that we're trying to build something.
Right.
But
I almost feel like what I'm hearing is like a swap meet.
But we don't want it to necessarily be under a swap meet type thing, because even at least, when I live in L.A., swap meet to me wasn't nobody swapping shit. You was just buying straight out. That's what swap meet was just like you walk in and you have a lot of vendors selling different products and you just buy with cash. Nobody was swapping nothing at the swap meet in L.A., at least not the ones I've been in.
Right. I've been to the one in L.A.
I'm not. I'm just talking different ones throughout LA and like outside of Slauson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm talking about the swap meet on Crenshaw and Slauson.
That's why I said Slauson. Outside of the Slauson, swap meet. There's the swap meets are all over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, but I just don't. I don't necessarily envision, like, when I think of a swap meet, I think of Like a swap, like you know how they are in L.
Right. But I guess what I'm saying though, Navita, is that even though it's going to be different there, the behavior even might be different there. But I think that in terms of being able to grab the general public, I feel like swap meet is kind of it would at least serve that purpose. You know what I mean?
And so I had a discussion in my class on Friday about the name swap meet, flea market, or mall. I just had this discussion with some people in my book club on Friday, and they felt, because initially we were going to say swap meet, but you know, people told me that they felt like when they hear swap meet, they don't necessarily think, or flea market, they don't necessarily think it's going to be quality thing.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
But
yeah,
when
you're
they
right.
hear
You're
a
right.
mall, they think more quality stuff at the mall, and they were kind of leaning more that they would like to shop more at a mall than they would at a flea market or swap meet. That's the only reason why and this was just last Friday in class. I had the conversation with some people like, well, maybe we should change the name, and they were like, no, that's swap meet and flea. That kind of sounds kind of like you might not have much quality stuff there. I'm just thinking, when I think of a flea market, so I was like, okay, well, maybe we should just stay with the mall theme, but we can still let people know that you can come into the mall and sell what you like.
Hey, Navita, let me ask you something, though, and this is like, I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Mall, swap meets, flea markets. Do you think that the name would necessarily change the buyer's behavior in terms of, bartering? And you're just saying that in terms of the outlook, it's a thing that reflects the quality of the vendors.
Well, as far as on a bartering piece, you're saying, do I think the name would affect whether people would be willing to barter?
Yeah.
Well, let me just say this. I would like for people to barter, but I want people to buy. So I think that it won't discourage people as long as they know that bartering is welcome. And I think that, because one thing I want to do, I want to make sure people who are vending and have products to sell, I want those products to be sold. I want the exchange from cash to these vendors. That's very important to me. And the bartering piece can take place too, but some of these people can't barter stuff to pay their electric bill and their gas bill.
Right.
So for people who really need the cash and black people to support by spending their funds with them, I want that to be a large focus. And then, you want to barter too, then you're more than welcome to do that. And I think we could spread that with word of mouth.
Yeah, we could have some type of indicator, like maybe a sign or something, like a certain color sheet on your table that you're open to barter.
Or you could just tell people. I mean, why not just tell people? Because the whole piece is because the whole market idea, mall idea, however you want to look at it, is a center of commerce. It's a center of business, and it's a low price where individual does. Hello, check one, check two.
Somebody talking.
Right.
In the background,
where individual does not have a high overhead cost to occupy a space for a amount of time to be able to introduce their wares to the community, and also being a place where we have all different type of ideas and people meeting. Like even some of the people with some of the different views you have. Why not set up a table? And I mean, just to help what we're doing, why not just set up a table and have discussion with people and shit? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? We want ideas. We want microgreens. We want fruits. We want vegetables. We want shea butter. We want African clothing. We want regular clothing. What if you got a whole bunch of regular clothes and you need to get rid of them, and you already then sent them to dry clean or did whatever you need to do to make sure that they safe? You know what I'm saying? Because we living in times was, y'all know what I'm saying. But you could bring stuff in to sell it. This is not just, because even the view that we have of African market, of an African market is totally fucked up over here. You go to the
Right.
African market to get shit so that you can live. You got in the African market, you find shoes. You could walk into an African market totally naked and hungry and walk out that motherfucker with a bomb ass outfit, including a haircut, a shave, and some shoes and a full belly. That's what you're supposed to be able to do at a market or a mall. You know what I'm saying? At a mall, you got, but they won't let you in the mall if you're naked. You possibly could walk in. You know what I'm saying? You could walk into a market with a towel around you, and in some of these countries, walk out with everything that you need, including music to listen to. So people, we need to expand.
We're going to have complimentary togas, or no, dashikis, to keep it culturally appropriate. We're going to have dashikis for the naked people that need to come and get their stuff together. Get the dashiki at the door.
And we want it back.
And also, if anybody's we'll have
we need it back. Watch
prizes to give away.
Oh, we doing prizes?
Yeah, I got a couple things I want to give away. Especially anybody who comes to Christine's African Heritage Diet Workshop, there is a free prize if you to be drawn. They're going to be drawn for her workshop.
You know I can set up a random pick generator for that. But they got to register.
Whatever you want to do, I do have a prize in particular for her workshop, and then I was just going to get a couple other little things, but. For sure, make sure, yeah, you can put that out there that we got, you know, if you want to do I don't know how you want to do it, but whatever you want to do for Christine, get with Christine and see how y'all want to do that.
And speaking of prizes, family, I need y'all to know, Tiandra, I got your prize. Elder Greg, I got your prize. We passed Kwanzaa, family. I mean, I just want people to know that we were giving out prizes. And those that did not get them yet, they are going to get their prize. So, we're going to have another drawing during Kwanzaa, during the G&J Mall next week. And maybe have some during the movie. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, so y'all get ready. But yo, family, I got to get up because I got to be over to school at 1 p.m.,
here we go.
What you mean, here we go?
12:35.
12:35.
Yeah, baby. Well, you better get moving, honey. Like you said.
Yeah. I'm out. But family, I want to thank everybody. I want to remind you that you are now tuned in to the family where your hustle builds muscle. This is the Congregation of the Mighty. Go ahead, bro. What's up?
Can I say one thing real quick? My bad.
Go ahead.
Is Gina still there?
Gina is upstairs doing some shit she ain't supposed to be doing. Gina! Get out here and wash these dishes. What's up?
I just wanted to...
Hello? Here she go. Quasi. Hold on. Something happened. Hold on. Man, this is ridiculous. I get kicked out of my own goddamn conference call. I don't understand that shit. Now it won't let me back on. Alright, family. We're going to have to go. This is Brother Hatim. And you listen to Giami Journey Media. Part of a similar production. Chosen, we are out. When we strive to blow up our old paradigm. So not only did it kick me out of the chat, he totally took the sound. Usually he'll let you listen to him speak. He's still talking. Look at that. It won't even let me hang up. Alright, cool. There we go. Come on. Maybe it'll let y'all hear him a little bit. Still nothing. It won't hang up. Alright, family. I'm out. Peace.